So in this video I'm going to do a panel to glass conversion on this Toyota Proace. It's the same model as the new Vauxhall Vivaro, Peugeot Expert, Citroen Dispatch. I'm just going to be putting this sliding window in this side loading door panel here. So I'm just going to jump straight into the job. Not too much talking, I'll do some talking during the job, exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going to basically bash on with it. So I've already I've sheeted the vehicle out and removed the ply lining. I'm just going to make 4 cuts. Now obviously the inner skin is already pre-cut in the factory. So I'm basically just following this line all the way around. I'm going to make 4 cuts at the top corners. This is just my way of doing things. Everybody's got their own techniques, this is just the way I do it. The reason I cut these 4 bits here, I cut the corners out first because I use this Milwaukee reciprocating saw, and as you can see I use these blades and they're pretty wide, so I've ground one down so it's nice and thin so I can get round the corners, and I just cut the straights out with a new wide blade. So I'm just going to cut the corners out now. Just do it nice and slow. Just following the edge of the seam all the way around. The better the first cut I get, the less time I have to file any bits away once I've cut it out. That's the 4 corners done. Put a wide blade in now and get the 4 straights. Before I do that, I'm going to make a scribe along this support strut at the top and bottom. Just to make sure I'm cutting a straight line across it. I'll just cut straight through that. See if I can put my headlamp on while I've got this camera on my head as well. So the reason I do this, some people say, why don't you just cut one hole and then just cut all the way around it? Well, the reason I don't do that is when you cut one hole and start cutting all the way around it, you're only making one cut all the way around, and the panel starts to flap about and you've got to hold on to it, it just makes it more awkward. Now, by doing it this way, I'm going to cut along the top, along the bottom, and with the sides are still in, it keeps it all in one in position, so it doesn't flap about. And I'll just come down this side, and in the last cut I'll just hold the panel and cut right down there, and that's it. So I'm just going to cut the top away now. Just brighten this light up. So that's the top done. I'm going to cut along the bottom now. I'm just got to be really careful that I cut as close to that edge as possible. That's it. That's the panel cut out. I'll just scrap that. What I'll do with this blade is, I can still use this. What I'm going to do this as my old blades. I'll ground this one down for my next one. So I've not got any power at this job, and I've not got an electric. I've got a little file sander, but it's electric. Yeah, I've not got a battery operated one, so I'm going to have to go around and tidy up the edge by hand. Basically just taking the sharp edges away, all the sharp edges away. It's going to be getting a trim on it. So I'm just going to clean all this metal work up, prime it, let the primer dry and then put my edge trim on it. So I'm finished with my drill. So just clean up the bare metal edge with some white spirit. I'll just put some black primer on the bare metal edge. Stop it rusting. That'll just take a few minutes to flash off, to dry. Once I'm letting that dry, I'll just give the glass a good clean. I'll do the same with the glass, get it primed up, ready to fit. Same with the glass, I'll just go around the edge, the white spirit, just to get rid of any dust or silicone residue or anything that's on the glass. And the same, I'll just go around the edge of the glass where the bond line's going to go. So what I need to do is I need to put the bond line in a certain position on the pinch weld. So I don't want to put it too close to the edge of the glass where it's going to spew out because it's a trimless window, or I don't want to put it too close to the edge of the pinch weld so it's going to spew inwards. So I really need to be bang on. This is the only bit that the bottom and front edge, as you can see, there's not much pinch weld left. I've got a good gap at the top and side, but that's not visible from the inside. Just give the bodywork a good clean as well. Right, so I'm going to put the edge trim on it. Various sizes here. I'm going to try and put the smallest size as possible on. That's XL. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, because this bottom edge here is pretty small. If I put a bigger trim on it, it's going to be, there's not going to be any really gap for me, any space for me to put the urethane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join the two together, put this smaller trim on. Just make sure I've got enough. Touch and go, touch and go. So there's some glue, some stuff in between here all the way around. I'm going to cut it away so I can join the two panels together, so I can get the trim on better. Cut that away. Comes away pretty easy. These are just punch these bits in. Top bit doesn't seem to be joining very well. I think I've got to cut something away from here. That's it. That's better. That's fine. Well, should have enough of this trim to go around. If not, just grab a fresh bit. Just got to tidy up the edge so it's cosmetically it looks fine from the inside. This should just join the two panels together, give it a nice neat and tidy finish. Just do it bit by bit, might take a bit of while to get on, but just take your time. I think we're just going to make it. Yep. When you're cutting the last bit, I always leave a little bit extra on it, so when you join it up there's no gap, it tightens everything up. Just pull it back again, get that on there, beautiful. If there is any bits of metal that aren't straight, it's been cut out, you can adjust the trim to straighten it all up. Looks pretty good, I'm happy with that. So once that trim's on, I've already cleaned it with the white spirit, so I can just go round with my black primer now, around the edge, just leaving a gap about an inch from the back edge, and the same along the top and down the sides, just leaving enough space there so the glue doesn't spew out. It's quite tight down the side, down the front edge and the bottom. So I'll just wait on that drying, and then I'll apply my polyurethane bond all the way around the bodywork, and basically just plonk the glass into place. And these two things here are drainage channels. Any water that gets in here just drains straight out the channel, this bottom channel here. So it's very important not to have the drainage channels blocked at the bottom. So I've just stood on. So while I'm waiting on that primer drying, I'm just going to stick some masking tape on the glass. In fact, I'll clean the glass first. Get these gloves off. Give the outside of the glass a clean, remove that sticker. What the fuck's that, man? Me. Right, so I'm just going to bond up the bodywork now. What I'm going to do is, once I go along the top here and I come down this side, there's not much gap along the side and bottom, so I'm just going to sort of angle it in the way. So once I fit the glass, the glue isn't going to spew out the way, it's going to spew slightly in the way, but this trim will hide it anyway. There's a pre-cut nozzle on the glue, and I'm just going to slowly go along, make a nice even high bead, just keeping it as straight as possible. And I'll just angle it in the way here, keeping the height, just following the edge of the trim as guidance. That's basically it. So I'm just going to lift the glass into place. What we'll do is lift the front in first. Let's get that front edge in. just line it up. Once it's taped up, I can just visually inspect it. So there's an even gap all the way around. So there's maybe a 3mm gap all the way around. And just push it into place. And I'll just put more tape on it just to secure it until the bond dries. Just visually check it from the inside. Looks pretty good. Window opens fine. Closes. So that's the job done. I'm just going to clean out the vehicle now. Just remove all my sheets and stuff. Give it a hoover out. I'll just leave that tape on for an hour or so and the customer can drive away. So thanks for watching.